Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to get the correct volume and write the code to get the correct volume for our trading positions in Python. So in order to calculate the volume correctly, we need to get a few data first, okay? The first we need is the account equity, okay? The account equity sometimes misunderstood by the account balance, okay? But they are not the same. I will show you a quick example to see the difference, okay? Imagine we have an account with $1,000 and we open a position of $500 in any currency, okay? The account balance right now is 500, okay? The account balance that will be shown is 500, but the account equity is still 1,000 because yes, we don't have $1,000 in our account, but we have 500 in an open position and we have another 500 in our account balance. So this the sum of these two of both is 1,000, okay? So is the account equity. So when working to calculate the volume, we need to be able to get the account equity, okay? So after we get the account equity, we need to define a risk percentage, okay? What does this risk percentage mean, okay? In this case, I've put an 2%. This means that we are willing to risk 2% of our money, okay? Of our equity. So imagine we enter a position of 10,000 US dollars. We are willing to risk 200, okay? We are the maximum amount that we are gonna lose is 200 if we define 2%. How should do I calculate this? It's pretty simple. We get 10,000 and we multiply by 0.02. This 0.02 is the division by 2 by 100, okay? So if we multiply, as you can see, 200. This is the maximum amount that we can lose. Okay, so now after that, we need to define an entry price for every trade, as you know. In this case, it's just a random price. And we also have to define a stop loss, okay? The stop loss is not covered in this video. There are a lot, infinite ways of defining. They can be better or worse, but in this video, we're not gonna cover that, okay? I'm just gonna use a stop loss of 50 pips below the price, so it's gonna be a long position. And the next three variables, I'm gonna explain it with detail. Okay, so the next three variables can sometimes not be very clear, okay? The first is the contract size. We need to know what's the contract default size of our currency that we are working in, okay? So in this case, we are working with euro US dollar, and this for this exact currency, the contract size is $100,000, okay? So we need to get this information. If we are working with another currencies, we need to get the contract size. This is very easy to get, and I will show you later, okay? You just need to search in Google or wherever navigator, you search contract size of the currency and you will get it, okay? I'll show you later. The next thing that we have also to search is the tick size. This is what's the tick size? Some people ask, but it's very simple, okay? The tick size is the minimal change that a currency can experience, okay? So it means that if right now the price is this for US dollar, it can only change by this amount, okay? So it will be changed to 2, then to 3, then to 1, but it can never be more decimals like this, like I am writing right now, okay? It just can change for this, okay? And the last thing is the tick value, okay? What's the tick value? As I explained you, this is the tick size, the minimal change size, also known as pip in some trading concepts, and the tick value is just the value that has um, this tick size. Okay, so we all know that $1 is equal to $1, right? But how much is one tick? So it's very easy. We first get the contract size, which is $100,000. We have the variable, and we multiply it, just as simple as that, for the tick size. Okay, so we need to execute this cell, then this cell, and as you can see, it's $10. Okay, so each tick of this equals to $10. Okay, 10 US dollars. So now that we have this information that you can achieve pretty easily, we can continue to get the volume. Okay. Well, that now that we have defined the data that we are gonna use, the most important thing is to be able to understand the step by step. Okay, the first step, it's very important. It's calculating the distance between the entry price and the stop loss. Okay, so we are gonna name this stop loss distance. Okay, this will be a variable that will contain the difference of the entry price and the stop loss. Okay, so it's very simple. We need to use the absolute function. This returns the negative numbers into sorry, converts the negative numbers into positives, and the positives stay positive. Okay, because we need the difference to be positive to work well, correctly. Okay, so we put entry price, subtraction, and we subtract stop loss. Okay, so when we execute this stop loss distance, when we execute it, we see that the distance between the entry price and the stop loss is about 0.005 dollars. Okay, US dollars. So once we have this stop loss distance, we need to convert it into ticks. Okay, do you remember what it was a tick? The tick is the minimal change, okay, of the currency. So we need to get how many ticks are these. Okay, so imagine if one tick is equal to 0.0001, we have to convert this mathematically. So how much 0.5 would be equal? We have the incognita. Okay, this is the variable that we should know. So it's very simple. The stop loss, we define another variable, stop loss distance, and we name it in ticks. Okay, because we need it in ticks. So this is very simple. We just need to the stop loss distance, multiply it by the tick size. Okay, it may change the tick size depending on the currency you're working in, but if now we print the stop loss distance in ticks, we should get we should divide it, and we should get divide it, not multiply. I was wrong. uh, we should get like 50 pips ticks. Okay, so now we know that the change, the distance and of the entry price and the stop loss is about 0.005 US dollars and 50 ticks. Okay, but the data that we need is the ticks. Okay, so the next thing that we should calculate is the monetary risk. Okay, the monetary risk is really what we've calculated before, and is the monetary value that we can lose. Okay, so as I told you before, if we are risking 2% and we have 10,000 US dollars in the operation, we will multiply it and we get that the monetary risk is 200. Okay, so we should express this in Python. So we will create a variable that is monetary risk, and we will assign to this value the account equity, and we will multiply it by the risk percentage. Okay, and we will print again. If you don't know what application I'm using Jupyter Notebooks. I have a video tutorial to learn how to use it. It's a very good tool to write Python. And now if we execute this, we get 200. Okay, so now that we have the monetary risk and the stop loss distance in ticks, um, we need now to define finally the volume. Okay, the volume has a very simple formula, that is volume is equal to monetary risk divided by parentheses, because we need to do this operation first, as you know. We will get the stop loss distance in ticks, and we will multiply it by the tick value in the account currency. Okay, so what does this mean? I explained it before, but the tick value in account currency means that this value has to be in our account currency. Okay, so in this case is 10 US dollars, and we have dollars in our account. Okay, so but if we here had euros, we needed to change this value to euros. Okay, it will be just a multiplication and a product, and it will be very easy, but in this case we are gonna simplify the things and we are gonna use US dollars. Okay, so we need to pick up this value that is defined in this variable, and we will multiply it by the stop loss distance in ticks. Okay, so this formula is the formula that is gonna define which is the correct volume to start the position. Okay, so we will execute it, and as we can see, 0.39 is the correct volume for our position. Okay, so as you can see, what really depends, this value, what is really dependent on is about the stop loss. Okay, because everything starts here in the stop loss distance. So the most important thing when defining the volume is having a correct stop loss. In this video, I haven't shown you how to write a stop loss or any algorithm that will help you with your stops and take profits, but it's really important for you to know that is the most important thing when going into a trading position, because sometimes it's easier to hit a trade and get like the money of that operation, but it's more difficult in a long-term vision to maintain the average gain or the average loss. Okay, so all of this code and all this volume is basically defined by the stop loss. Okay, so this is for you to know that is the most important thing when talking about trading. Okay, so now it's I have one last step, that is defining an adjusted volume. Okay, because sometimes when working with brokers, they don't allow these many decimals in their sorry, in their accounts or in their positions, so they will need to adjust this volume. Okay, so it's very simple. We need to search which is our broker's volume step. This can be found in any broker. In most of the European and American brokers, they use 0.01. This means as the tick size, as I explained it before, that the volume can change only by 0.01. Okay, we cannot add more decimals. So in order to adjust this volume that we have gotten here, we need to define the volume step, and after we need to define the adjusted volume. Okay, so what should it be? The adjusted volume would be the rounded, as you know, this function rounds the numbers, um, the rounded volume divided by the volume step. Okay, the volume is this variable right here that we have defined, and the volume step is the variable that I've just defined. Okay, that normally takes this value. So now when we print out adjusted volume, we will see 40. Okay, but I forgot first before calculating this, we need to multiply this round by the volume step, okay, in order to get the volume in decimals. So when we multiplied it, we see that the adjusted volume that we are gonna enter the position is 0.4, okay. So I know this video has been a little bit long and it's a little bit difficult, but when talking about trading and is sometimes very complicated because we need to be very aware of what are we doing or what are we calculating and what are we getting into when we take a trade, okay. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, I'm trying to improve, and we will see in we will I see you in the next video.